I looked up the lyrics to that song recently, and y'all got a whole bunch of minors singing that song, and that song is not appropriate. So I've been sitting here for the past 20 minutes trying to figure out what the heck to title this video, but I think I got a title. It's gonna be 5 modern visual kei bands that pique my interests. Hopefully by the time this video gets to you guys, I'll have something better than that. I feel like I can make that title cooler, but I'll tell you guys how I came across this idea long time ago. It really wasn't that long ago. I made a video about visual kei being, quote, dead, right? I plan on remaking that video and giving you guys how I feel about visual kei now. It's a little different. Some things have changed. I get comments under that video about how the sounds that are very popular in Japan are different than the sounds that are making it overseas. I ended up doing some research and I was like, maybe I should put more of an effort in seeing what is popular in Japan compared to what is making it over here. I basically started paying attention to festivals and a lot of the bands I had never even heard of. The people who gave me that advice to dig into the bands that are playing in Japan but may not have an online presence strong enough to reach foreign fans, it was a very good piece of advice because I have been doing that the past 2 years and I've been very happy and more satisfied with my visual kei listening experience alongside of just listening to music from other countries. That's part of the reason why I'm a little bit more satisfied, just because I can get other needs met other places. Anyways, my name is Savette. This is going to be a video about some modern visual kei bands that I really like. There is one band that actually is pretty popular internationally, like amongst foreign visual kei fans. They're gonna be the only ones on this list that I feel are super popular. So let us get started. This video is going to be in a particular order, starting off with bands that I'm interested in to the number 1 band that I'm most interested in. I love my top 5s and my top 10s and my top 15s and 20s. The 5th band that I am kind of interested in is called Chaqla. For each of these bands, I was going to mention my favorite song, right? But for Chaqla, I don't really have a song that is my favorite. I just think they have a really cool sound. I think it stands out and I think they're really cool. You know, when it comes to a lot of fusing genres, especially when it comes to rock, electronics, and hip hop, a lot of bands do it very poorly. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm like, if I want to listen to electronic music, I can just go listen to that. If I want to listen to rock, I can go listen to that. You know, if I want to listen to hip hop, I'll just go listen to that. But I think Chaqla is one of the bands that I've been most impressed by when it comes to the fusing of genres. Chaqla's image and the branding that they have, I personally feel like is very strong. They're consistently putting out interesting music and I'm going album through album. I just like what I'm hearing. I have quite a few songs I like by them, just not a favorite song yet. I also don't want to get too attached and too close because bands like these tend to do things in order to make themselves stand out more that aren't very culturally sensitive. And it doesn't even have to be just like Black culture. It can be other cultures. This I'm already not too big a fan of, right? So that tends to be a consistent issue with me when it comes to fusion visual kei bands. But if you're willing to get invested in that way, I think Chaqla is worth checking out. They got a lot of stuff in there and I definitely feel like they stick out. Continuing on to band number 4, they are called Orseas. They used to be called Grim Aqua. I came across them listening to like a random assorted playlist and I was just like, they sound really cool. I just like their sound. My favorite song, which I really wish it wasn't because I was going down the track list of their album Aquaism, right? And I was like, please don't let me like the song 69 Mother, please. And that's my favorite song on the album. Now, I don't know what they're talking about in that song. I'll probably have to wait till more music comes out by them, but I don't know. Their music just has a very comforting sound. Like sometimes I'm able to articulate how I feel about certain bands. Other times I have to wait. I liked about 3 or 4 songs on Aquaism and I think Orseas is worth checking out. Even though I am posting pictures in this video, a lot of these bands I haven't really seen what they look like because I've been listening to them on Spotify. That has been the best method for me to filter out music, to see see if I genuinely like it or if I'm just liking it more because the PV, like the way the PV is shot or the way the members look. So nowadays you told me about a band, I'm listening to them on Spotify. I am not going to make my first impression of them based on a PV, because a lot of times the way the PV is shot is so skillful that it makes the song seem better than what it is. So with Orseas, fortunately, I was able to get into some of the album, and I think Aquaism is an album that people should check out. I think Orseas has a very nice sound. I very much like the vocalist. I'm gonna put him here. He has a very, very beautiful voice. What the heck is 69 Mother about? Or 69 Mother? I gotta look up those lyrics later. I hope it's something appropriate, but there's no way it could be appropriate. The 69 have the same meaning in Japan. I wonder. Speaking of lyrics, we're going to talk about the third band because I have some words about the lyrics. The third band we could just go to. Third band that I have an interest in is Mamireta. Mamireta is a band that I discovered through social media. So they're the only band on this list that I did not have to go out and find. A lot of foreigners are into Mamireta right now, and it makes sense. Mamireta is really cool. In my opinion, they kind of have an essence similar to Zaza. I'm not saying they're exactly like Zaza, but their essence reminds me of Zaza a lot. I wanted to talk about their song, Ojimashimasu. Their song Ojimashimasu. I looked up the lyrics to that song recently, and y'all got a whole bunch of minors singing that song, and that song is not appropriate. I wanted to learn the Japanese lyrics, like I wanted to learn how to sing the song, but I don't know. I don't think I want to learn it anymore. But that song is a bop. That is my favorite Mamireta song. I'm sorry to be predictable because a lot of people like Ojimashimasu, but I think it's a really well-made song. Mamireta makes a lot of catchy songs, and they're just really, really cool. I'm very, very impressed by them. That's why I put them at number 3. They've been around for a while, but I didn't hear about them till the end of last year. Ojimashimasu was trending on TikTok. The PV, somebody had posted it on TikTok. I bookmarked it because I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. That was the end of 2024. I kept getting stuff on my For You page about Mamireta after that. So I was like, okay, I gotta look into Mamireta when I have more time, right? Then Inwai Kitan came out. Inwai Kitan came out earlier this year. I don't know if it was March. I don't think it was June. I don't know. I listened to the album and they make very interesting songs. I feel like I say often I don't like everything. When I think of Mamireta's sound, it actually makes me very, very excited. Like whenever they release something, they're a band that I would get excited about, even if I don't end up liking all their music, because their music is just so interesting and whimsical, and I don't have the vocabulary because I'm not a musician to describe how they add little things here and there to make their music more compelling. I wish I had like a broader vocabulary that I could give, but I know with them, there is going to be the potential to get even bigger, especially with them trending on TikTok frequently. Like I think right now Moshi Moshi is trending on TikTok. I think Moshi Moshi. Is that the song? Was Moshi Moshi released in June? I'm thinking Inwai Kitan was released in March and Moshi Moshi was released in June or July. I do like a song on the Moshi Moshi album. It's called Shin Fukujyoushi. I really, really like that song. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Mamireta. It was really cool because one of my mutuals on TikTok messaged me. I got to get back to her, but she was like, oh my God, Savette, I finally found a visual K band that I really, really like. And I was like, oh my God, what visual K band is it? And she was like, Mamireta. And it was very funny because that same day I sat down to listen to Inwai Kitan. I was like, okay, let me see if I can form an opinion on Mamireta that's a little bit more solid instead of just like Ojimashimasu, right? I mean, it's a full album. Like I said, in comparison to all the groups on this list, Mamireta is a band that actually does have a lot of attention from foreign fans. I think Mamireta will grow in more popularity overseas as time passes. The second band that I wanted to mention is called RURUNONE, and I think they're so cool. There's only one album on Spotify that I seen that they released last year. It's called Hazimari no Ne. I think everybody should listen to it. So for me, I am not the biggest fan of the combination of Japanese instruments with rock music. It's very difficult for me to find songs that include Japanese instruments that have a good balance to my ears, to me, because this is like a personal preference, right? When it comes to Japanese instruments, it sounds very foreign to me. The way RURUNONE combines the Japanese instruments in their music, I actually really like. My favorite song by them is called Karaburihaibu. I want to inject this song into my bloodstream. When I listen to this song, when I first heard this song, I was like, what is this? Like, because sometimes I listen to my headphones in one room and I'll have my phone in my other room. I had to come around the corner and be like, what band is this? I need to know everything about this band. I have to remember which track number it is. I don't remember, but Karaburihaibu is my favorite song on the entire RURUNONE album. Oh my God, I love this song so much. And it's such a simple song, but it's so catchy, and the way the Japanese instruments blend into it. I want to put it in this video, but I don't want to get like a copyright strike. So if I don't get a copyright strike, I'll put it in the video. If you don't see it in this video at all, it's because I've gotten a copyright strike. I think everybody should check out RURUNONE. And like I said, I saw how they looked recently and I was very happy. I'm like, not only do they have nice music, but they look really cool. And I'm really happy. Like, generally all visual K bands are gonna look super cool, right? But I'm excited to hear more from them. So that's why they're like band number 2, because I like them a lot. I don't know how popular they are, but I do know I've literally never heard of RURUNONE ever, okay? So I was excited to discover them. And now we're gonna move on to the very first visual K band that I am the most impressed by. Oh my God. The number 1 band that I am the most impressed by right now is called Deva Ed. I know I'm pronouncing the Deva part right. I just don't know if I'm pronouncing the Ed part right, but I think it's Deva Ed. They're so cool. They're so cool. And you know what they remind me of? Essence, not the same exact blueprint. Some parts of their songs remind me of, I'm not gonna try to struggle to say the name because I don't want to harm people's ears, okay? What songs do you like? I like everything that they have made, everything that's available on Spotify. I love it all. No complaints. Genre-wise, suits me. They look really cool. I did end up looking them up because I had to make a short complaining about how they don't have any full albums. Why? Why the band that suits me, my personal tastes, which has been a while since I found a band that suits me sound-wise, right? Why does that band have to have just a few singles? And they've been around for years. They're like still performing at festivals, so they still fall under like modern, right? You know, they're still active, but where's the album? I already complained about this. Where's the album? They need to make more music before I lose my for the sake of this video, I will pick a favorite song. My favorite song by them is Chaos. I was jamming to that while I was doing my makeup before filming. I really like Deva Ed, and I think they're so cool. They're the band that I'm the most impressed by. I don't think they're going to release any more music. I don't think we're going to get a full album. I think they're kind of just doing their thing and slowly releasing singles. Like somebody on TikTok was like, well, that's the smarter thing to do nowadays. Yes, I get it. But if you're going to release singles, release them more frequently. They've been around for like 10 years. 10 years? Where's the music? Where is the music? Make more music, please, Deva Ed. Please. I beg you. I'll buy the album. I'll even promote the album. Oh my God. That would be my dream, for them to come out with an album. I would do so much promotion for this band. But anyways, you know, I'm just a foreign fan. But yeah, Deva Ed is the band that I'm the most impressed by nowadays, and a band, more importantly, that suits me, because remember, none of these bands you guys have to like, right? Everybody has their own different tastes. Like I got a comment not yesterday, where somebody was like, all the bands that I don't like, they end up liking. If that's what works for you, I'm still happy to help. I still talk about bands I'm not super into, because I know there's a chance that somebody might find the band of their dreams, even if I don't feel like it's the band of my dreams, right? So don't worry about it. Y'all don't gotta like all these groups, but I did want to tell you guys about them because they're the groups right now that I'm the most impressed by. I just think that they're cool and deserve more attention. That includes foreign attention, besides Mamireta, which I feel like is pretty known. phone. Somebody said Mamireta was overrated on TikTok, and this was like towards the beginning of this year, and I about threw my phone, okay? Yes, Mamireta is popular, but are they overrated? Nah, I think they're appropriately rated for how their music is, the way their music is made. It's very addicting, very catchy. It suits this newer generation of visual kei fans, like the younger generation. It suits the generation really, really well. I just get mad when people just be saying stuff. In that same video, they were talking about Fukuro. It was like a soundbite saying specific things for each band, and they were like, we get it, we get you love this band. And when it comes to Fukuro, like I get it. Us Fukuro fans can be like that, talking about Fukuro all the time. But Mamireta overrated? No, they're just popular at this moment, and for good reason. You know, they've been putting out pretty good stuff. Ojimashimasu is like old, but the Moshi Moshi single was pretty good. Moshi Moshi is, I think Moshi Moshi is growing on me, but Shin Fukujyoushi is, I like Shin Fukujyoushi way more. Anyways, I could go on and on and on. Let me make sure that there's nothing, I gotta search my brain. Let me make sure that there's nothing else I wanna say about Deva Ed. I looked at my notes. I have nothing else to say. They better never, ever, ever split up, ever, unless they release an album. Maybe 3. Maybe 3 is pushing it. If they release an album, I'm never going to shut up, okay? Because it's not a matter of if the album will sound good. It's gonna sound good. I'm gonna like most of the songs on there. It's just a matter of, is it gonna happen? Or are they going to be like, we're tired of Deva Ed, we'll just split up and go to different bands? I got to do more research. But I'm worried. I'm worried about getting like invested and then they just disband. And it's like, well, won't get that for another 10 years. It's depressing to have like a very specific type of music that you like. Like, I don't expect to get another one of these, okay? I don't expect to get another one of those. I just make do with what I had, which thankfully they put out a lot of music.